Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQ&AW. And as always, NoDQ.com, your source for the very latest in WWE and TNA. Let's get right down to your questions. Do you think The Rock will become WWE Champion at the Royal Rumble? I've gotten a lot of questions about The Rock and the Royal Rumble. Another question here, do you think there's a chance Rock will actually lose the WWE title match at the Rumble? Right now, the speculation and the rumors going around are that WWE will have The Rock defeat CM Punk at the Royal Rumble, ending CM Punk's year-plus reign as WWE Champion, and then go on to WrestleMania, where John Cena will finally get his payback, get his win back, and capture the WWE title from The Rock at WrestleMania. In my opinion, this is just too predictable. Who is going to believe that John Cena will lose 2 times in a row to The Rock at WrestleMania? And not just that, but the fact that WWE promoted that match as once in a lifetime, and by doing a rematch, they're going back on their word. So I'm not a big fan of WWE doing that rematch, and I could see WWE throwing a curveball at people just because they think that the fans know it's too predictable. So if WWE senses that, I could see them changing things up a little bit. I always see a possibility in CM Punk defeating The Rock at the Royal Rumble, maybe some kind of screw job, because I don't know if Dwayne Johnson will want to put over CM Punk, but I could see some sort of screw job, and then Rock entering the Royal Rumble match itself and winning that, and then getting the title shot. So WWE could always go in a different direction, but right now I'm expecting the obvious direction, which is Rock winning at the Rumble and then Cena beating The Rock at WrestleMania. But like I said, not a big fan of doing the rematch. Same thing with Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. I just think that doing a rematch is too predictable. And there's lots of other match combinations that you can do. So I'd rather see WWE change it up a little bit. This is from Enigma for Life. Hey Aaron, at what point did you start seeing main event potential in Triple H? Please answer in video. Those infamous 4 words. Please answer in video. I saw a lot of potential in Triple H very early in his WWE career. I was really impressed with him during the Hog Pen match with Henry Godwinn at In Your House. It was December '95. Just the fact that Triple H would go out there and take one for the team. He would be slammed into the fence and going through all the mud. He would be embarrassed before a live pay-per-view audience. I just thought that showed that Triple H was willing to make whatever sacrifice possible to be a superstar. So I was impressed with that. And then definitely by the time he got with Shawn Michaels, I really felt that Triple H had a lot of potential. I saw him, once he was evolving his character and he was moving away from the Blue Blood character, I really felt that he was starting to gain a lot of momentum. And certainly by the time Triple H had the ladder match with The Rock at SummerSlam '98, which was on my top 25 list of the greatest WWE matches in history. Make sure you stay tuned to the NoDQ channel for all the latest videos regarding that. But anyways, getting back to the question here, I think that at SummerSlam '98, Triple H stepped it up. He proved that he could perform at a main event level. Same thing with The Rock. And at that point, I really felt that Triple H would be a big, big deal in WWE, and I was right. This is from Mr. Sepp EV. Hey Aaron, I almost wondered how much the wrestlers get paid. Each show they do are taping, and is there a difference between low and mid or upper card? Greetings from Belgium. There's a lot of numbers that have been floating around over the years. My best guess is that everybody in WWE gets a downside guarantee, which means they will be paid a guaranteed amount of money. And then they get more money beyond that in terms of merchandise sales and pay-per-view appearances and other bonuses. As far as how much they make, I'm guessing that a general number is that the lower guys will get in the low 6 figures, and then it'll go up from there. The mid-card guys will get into the mid 6 figures, and then guys like John Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton, your headliners, those guys are easily clearing 7 figures. And like I said, there's a lot of numbers floating around. Some of those numbers are accurate, some of them are not, and there's really no way to know exactly, but that's a rough estimate right there. Hey Aaron, I'm constantly hearing from bitter WCW fans claiming that if it wasn't for Vince copying ECW, and from it creating the Attitude Era, the WWF wouldn't have won the Monday Night Wars. But I believe this, quote, claim is highly hypocritical because, one, can you say that if it wasn't for Bischoff copying the NWO angle from New Japan and stealing the Cruiserweight division from ECW, WCW wouldn't have gotten their success over the WWF? Your thoughts? Please answer in video. Sorry for the long question. Don't worry about that. Yeah, a lot of people tend to criticize Vince McMahon for borrowing ideas from Paul Heyman, but the same thing can be said about Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff came up with the NWO angle, based it off a faction in New Japan, a storyline in New Japan, and he signed a lot of the Cruiserweight stars from ECW. Eric Bischoff took advantage of the situation, and he was influenced by people. Same thing can be said about Vince McMahon. He is influenced by people before him and tries to take their ideas and turn them into his own ideas. And everybody gets influenced by somebody in the past. It's just a natural process. You can't really criticize people for it. You look at Hulk Hogan, a lot of his act was based off of superstar Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes. And you just see this happen time and time again. And it happens not just in wrestling, but in all aspects of art. You look at painters who are influenced by people before them, like Salvador Dali or Michelangelo. And even in music, you have people influenced by what they grew up with, like the Beatles. It just happens. It's a cycle. People are influenced by what they grew up with. They try to borrow from it, but they try to make it their own and try to improve on it. So that's just the way it goes. And you can't really criticize Vince or Eric Bischoff for using ideas from other people. You just can't. Hey Aaron, why do people always talk about how amazing Dolph Ziggler is, while I think Cody Rhodes is just as if not more talented? I think that Cody Rhodes is lacking something. I've talked about this before. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just something about his character and his personality, his promo abilities. I just think something there he's missing. And Dolph Ziggler, I think he has all the attributes. I think Dolph Ziggler is one of the most talented in-ring performers, and he's a great talker, and everything about Dolph Ziggler has star quality. So I just don't see Cody Rhodes at that level, and nothing against him because I think he's a great performer in his own right, but I just don't think he's at Dolph Ziggler's level, and that's my opinion, and not sure how other people feel, but I think a lot of people are really high on Dolph Ziggler right now and feel that he has the most potential of anybody in WWE to be the next major superstar. Hey Aaron, what did you think about AJ Styles taking a shot at AJ Lee and WWE? I actually thought that this was a good opportunity to knock WWE. Usually, I don't think there's any purpose behind it, and when they do it, it makes WWE look second rate. But in this case, this worked because WWE is doing a storyline that's extremely similar to the storyline TNA did. Not crazy about mentioning the whole Claire Lynch storyline and having us remember it, but it was a good opportunity, I thought, to take a shot at WWE, and I'm sure that somebody in TNA had that idea and wanted AJ to say it on television. Somebody else asked me on here, do you think AJ came up with it on himself? I'm sure that a lot of people in TNA had that idea and they just decided to go with it. What did you think about Luke Gallows being reviewed as one of the members of Aces and Eights? I have to say it wasn't a big surprise because if you've been following NoDQ.com, you knew that Luke Gallows was one of the guys under the masks all along. I just think the reaction of the announcers was really funny because they couldn't call him Luke Gallows, so they're like, oh my God, I know who that is. He was a former bodyguard for one of the top stars in our business. I just thought that was funny, and I think the TNA has to do something like this at this point. They need to get this storyline advancing, and I think it's a good idea to reveal one member at a time and keep that interest and speculation going on with fans. So yeah, I see nothing wrong with it, and I think it's time to get this storyline moving forward and start showing who these people are. But hopefully they have a good reason to explain why he's in the group. That's a critical part of the storyline is why is Luke Gallows part of Aces and Eights. So I'm interested to see the follow-up for it. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter. And I'll see you next week for more No DQ&A video.